Hi everyone! Welcome to 26 weeks of journaling prompts for self-growth nerds. This is already week 5. If you started from the beginning, I'm so happy that you're here. And if you just found us, welcome. You can start anywhere you like. This week, we've got the letter E, and we're gonna talk about how to have more energy. I've got 3 pieces of advice for you, going from slightly obvious all the way to not nearly spoken about often enough. The first one is take care of yourself like a toddler. Toddlers need stability, they need routine, they need to eat well at a similar time every day, they need a proper night's sleep, otherwise they're a mess. Like if they go spend the weekend at their grandparents and they can watch as much TV as they want, go to bed, eat sweets, then they come back to their parents' house and they're super irritable, grumpy, unable to manage their emotions. It's the same with us. We're just big toddlers. If we're gonna skip meals here and there and just have coffee instead because we have too much work, and if we spend hours scrolling our phone in the evening and going to bed late after 2 hours of screen time, it's obviously going to have an impact on how we feel in the next few days. So whenever I feel low energy, the first go-to is to ask myself, have I been taking care of my basic needs? Because it's easy to forget. If your answer is no, ask yourself why. If you're like, but I don't have time, then maybe you have overcommitted. If other people's needs have been bleeding into your own, then maybe you have leaky boundaries. Look at how you can take responsibility for that instead of expecting others to change. Because you deserve to feel good too. By the way, none of this is your fault. I want to acknowledge that the system is broken, but since we cannot smash patriarchy and capitalism in the next week, I try to focus on what we can control right now, which is saying no more often, asking for support, and becoming mindful of our conditioning so that we stop trying to fit standards that make us miserable. Let's move on to number 2. If you have low energy, it's time to light yourself up. What do I mean by that? Think about the Care Bears. The way I love to visualize energy is 5 big buttons on your belly that represent the main activities that rejuvenate you. And every time you do one of them, you get to press the buttons, and every time you press them, they light up more brightly. So the more of these activities you do, the more alive you will feel. Let me give you a few examples. One of my buttons is creativity. That can be writing, recording a YouTube video, recording my podcast. Another one of my buttons is adventure. So that can be traveling, but that can also be going for a bike ride by the canal or exploring my sexuality. And lastly, I know that another one of my big buttons is connection. Have I had deep conversations this week? Have I seen the people that I love the most? Have I spent time playing with my friends' kids? You've got to know what your buttons are and be intentional in the way that you spend your time to make sure that you prioritize activities that light you up. So part 1 was all about your basic needs, solidifying the foundations of your house. Part 2 is about turning this house into a home, turning it into a place that feels like you. And now part 3, care less. Instead of caring about everything, you want to care about a few things more deeply. We are addicted to drama. Having opinions about everything gives us dopamine. We have a limited amount of energy. So if you have thoughts about what your colleague is doing wrong, how the company where you work should be ran, what your friend should do about her relationship, politics, environment, obviously you're going to get exhausted. I want to suggest that you choose carefully what you pay attention to and the stories that you subscribe to. And that's both on social media and in real life. Unsubscribe to all the accounts that make you feel bad. Stop going to all the events. Practice the joy of missing out, and also practice caring less about what other people are doing that have no impact whatsoever on your life. Because that mind drama is taking up important real estate up here that could be replaced by inner peace. Instead of getting your dopamine hit by gossiping, get your dopamine by doing something that's nourishing for your soul. Now, I know all of this is easier to say than to apply, but if you could commit to one little change, what would it be? Now, this week, I'm going to give you a journaling exercise to do every evening. You're gonna make a list of your energy sparks and your energy drains. The goal here is just to gain awareness about what lights you up in a day and what sucks your life juice out of you. For example, maybe you started reading the comments underneath an Instagram post and it started to make you feel anxious. It shifted your inner environment. You've got to notice these little things. And then at the end of the week, see what the common threads are and ask yourself, how can I maximize the energy sparks and how can I minimize the energy drains? Personally, I've done that for about a month and it was super helpful. So let me know how it goes for you. I hope this helps and I'll see you again next Saturday. Bye!